Um, we had to do, it was the second week, and we had to do a pride theme number, and what comes to the top of a performer's head for a pride theme, drag number, it's like, I'm gonna do Born This Way, we're gonna do some Cher,
Right.
Life After Love, and Madonna, and all the gay things that
Right.
we grew up with, right? Um, and that didn't come to my head when we thought about that. I actually, um, very recently, back in December, my one of my mom's ex partners that I grew up with that raised me, my other mom, passed away from cancer,
Mm.
and it was a difficult situation because we weren't able to grieve her and provide sort of the funeral service that a queer person would deserve. It was a little bit different, and we didn't have a lot of the how do I say? We couldn't do a lot of things for her because of uh, family restrictions and legal restrictions that we didn't have, and it was a
Mhm.
really difficult loss. Um, it was a beautiful, experience, to see her peacefully go. I was present, and I said I didn't get to really do anything for her, to commemorate her in a queer way, because a queer way is very important to do things. Um,
Mhm.
and so what I did is I actually put together a slideshow and a video, um, and dedicated a performance to her for that number in the competition. I made a dress out of the lesbian pride flags. So
Mhm.
I turned it into a long skirt that hit the floor, and I did it to a song by Brandy Carlisle, and it was a really beautiful performance, and I felt just I felt her presence there, and it was spiritual in a way that I was able to share my grief with the audience, but I
Mhm.
was also able to share the joy that comes in celebrating the life of someone, even though they're
Mhm.
gone, and even though it was really difficult to lose them. And I
Right.
think that's really that's so important to know as a spiritual person, because we have to know that they lived a happy life, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So there was that
And
performance.
right.
Go,
And
go
really
ahead.
celebrating the parts of her that were important, but like you said, kind of would have gotten washed away or not talked about in other settings.
Exactly. And for me, it was like she was a very, very proud lesbian woman.
Mhm.
Um, and she lived a very happy life. So that was one of the performances. And then in the same competition, I did my final performance, which was to like a really cool remix of Deeper Love by Aretha Franklin.
Mm.
And the reason that I did that song was because every time I hear that song, something in the lyrics just opens up my spiritual like cage within my chest and just brings this like energy and this light. And when I performed that song, I felt like I just traveled into a whole 'nother dimension and was like
Mm.
a super almighty, like, drag queen superhero. It was a super powerful performance too. I've never flipped my hair and gyrated like that in my entire
Oh,
life.
wow. That's hard to believe
Um,
because I've seen you do all that.
yeah, yeah, you have, and it was like, "Ah!" It was a lot, and I remember I was, like, crying during the performance too, but no one could tell, thank God,
Mm.
but I was crying. Because it was just like my final like hoorah of like this is my celebration of my drag and
Mhm.
of what it has done for me in my life.